What's up, guys? Welcome back to GoHamDiscGolf. I'm Big John, and today I've got a review for you of a putter, the Axiom Envy. I got an Axiom Envy from Infinite Disc. It's Neutron plastic and 167 grams. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you guys what I thought about it, but I'm going to start off by telling you how it feels, how it looks, first impressions of it, and then I'll show you some footage of the disc flying, and I'll tell you what I thought about it and how it flew. So just jumping off, I have it on white. A lot of you guys might know that Axiom is a sister company to MVP. MVP is known for having all their overmolds on all their discs. So Axiom has the same thing. But one of the cool things about Axiom is that all their discs, you can choose what color combinations you want to have. You can have a certain color flight plate or core, and you can have a different colored rim. This one is white on white, which looks really cool, and then the stamp is a rainbow foil stamp. So very cool looking disc. Now as far as the feel of it, it's got a nice deep rim on it, but it doesn't feel too deep. It doesn't feel unnatural. It feels good. When I think about a putter and what I want to do with it, I don't want my fingers to be in there shallow. I really want to be able to get them in there so that when I'm just throwing a putt that maybe is about 20-25 feet, my fingers are in there so I feel like I have full control over the disc. And then if I'm throwing an upshot with it, it's the same thing. I want to feel like I have total control over this disc, and if my fingers aren't in there deep enough, then I lose that confidence. Another thing about it is that the flight plate itself, just the flight plate, reminds me of a buzz. You know how flat a buzz is, but it comes down to that rounded edge? The Envy sort of reminds me of that because it's a very, very flat disc. But the other thing about it that I like is that it feels really beefy. It feels strong. It's Neutron plastic, so it doesn't have that bend to it. It's a tough disc. It feels like I can put a bunch of power on it and it's going to hold a line for me. And that's what I want when I'm looking for a putter or an upshot disc. Now I'm going to show you guys some footage, and before I show you that, I just want to mention that while this is a putter and I could show myself throwing 20 to 30 foot putts all day long, I don't really see how that would be an advantage or helpful to a review. Because in my opinion, when it comes to picking out a putter for making putts, it's all about feel and personal preference. And I can sit here and tell you that I love the way it feels and it feels great when I putt, but that won't mean anything to you if it doesn't feel great for you and give you confidence when you putt. So I'm going to look at this disc from the perspective of an upshot disc for anywhere from 150, maybe 200 feet down. You know, those kind of upshots where you want something that's going to follow the line you put it on, where you're not trying to give a lot of distance, where you're trying to be accurate with it. So having said that, check out this flight footage. Big thank you to Mo and Chris for coming out and letting me film them throw this a little bit. So check it out, guys. Well, I wasn't exactly sure what to expect when I started throwing this disc, but I threw it with the intentions of releasing it flat with probably about 70-80% power and just seeing what it did. And surprisingly enough, this disc is super straight. I made the mistake of not looking it up, not knowing what to expect out of it, like I said. But it is super straight, and I like that. If I'm going to be throwing a disc from the tee pad and my shot needs to be about 200 feet, I normally throw a buzz. But if I had Envies in my bag, that's probably where I would be. But if you watch this footage, the disc flies super straight. And not only does it fly straight, but it's got barely any fade to it. It feels really good on a release. And when a disc feels really good and you know what to expect out of it, and you're trying to make it fly straight and expecting it not to have much fade, that's a great combination for a great disc that you should probably have in your bag. And it's not often that I say this, but after throwing this guy in a field and talking to a couple of my buddies after they threw it and thinking about what's missing in my bag and what might improve my game, I don't say it too often, but I think I'm going to put an Envy in my bag. Might even put 2 or 3 because it just feels right. It's an upshot disc, in my opinion, that does the work and does the work right. That straight line that it's got, that barely any fade, and that nice, confident, clean release you can get out of it, it really feels good. So if you want to check out an Axiom Envy, I think it's something that everybody should check out, and you might be surprised, all right? So check them out if you want to. Head over to infinitedisc.com. They have all the Axiom products. They also have all the MVP products right now. Great selection, great prices. What else could you ask for? All right, I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to go ham.